Hello everybody, down by the river again. It's been raining a lot here and it's flowing hard and deep. I'm a little bit back on the banks because the water has come up a little higher. I haven't done this in a little while, a little over a week maybe, and what I want to talk about is the various, I've got family who think along the same lines that I do, maybe nowhere near as down the rabbit hole. Wouldn't exactly apply the term CT, conspiracy theorist, to them, but like it can be applied to me. But they haven't fallen for this. They haven't certain ways, and in other ways they haven't. They're staying pure. They're not getting the Matthias jabs. They're not getting that. And they're adamant about that. When they raised their daughter, who is now 28 or 29, when they raised her, they avoided that particular schedule with her. So they're, forward, progressive thinkers, truly, in the true sense of things. And, however, there's been a lot of anxiety in them, and the man ended up in the hospital, diagnosed with atrial fibrillation. And in order to go into the hospital and to receive his diagnosis, he had to take the enlarged Q-tip into the nasal passage. And they, of course, diagnosed him with the dreaded thing. And I think he maybe had the sniffles, but when you are going through stress and your heart is racing, we know what that can do. It can kick off the little supposed thing that they refer to the spiky ball with, the general term for it, the CV. It's a reaction to stress, it's a reaction to losing sleep, it's a reaction to foreign invaders, it's a reaction to a body in dysbiosis. Anxiety is a foreign invader. Lack of nutrient, lack of mineral is what can kick that off. It's primarily, I believe, the thing, apart from medications, that can kick that off. I don't know what kind of medications he's on. He's a little bit older. I think he's in his early 60s. However, they gave him that diagnosis, so that side of the family is freaking out a little bit right now. They're a bit apoplectic, still adamant about avoiding a certain intervention. Still adamant. However, the family itself, the rest of the extended family, most of whom have done it, are kind of wagging their fingers, which I think makes the situation worse for this couple. And so I see what's going on without a full raft of knowledge, without having been involved in the deep dive information search that some of those in the truth community have done to truly keep themselves aware of what's happening. These people are workaday people. One's a teacher, the other's he does another job similar, and they don't have the luxury to do that, with which to do that. Now, of course, they're on Instagram, I believe, and I don't know if they're on Twitter or not, but they do receive a lot of the information that is bandied about, the sort of anti side of things. And so they do get some information, but they don't get all. So you can see how, and I do think the upper crust folk know that this is the case with a lot of these people who have been what they call hesitant. And so they chip away at it slowly but surely, and they have protocols in the institutions that we visit, the hospitals, the legal institutions, the government institutions. They have policy that is designed to chip away at it. Especially if you don't know your basic human rights. You don't have to take that thing up the nose. The hospital will say you do, and they'll push back, but you present a certain face to them, an intelligent face, they'll know that you're not to be messed with that particular thing, that you know better. People, when they go in there, they're afraid, particularly if they have an anxiety attack and their heart is racing. Their low nutritional profile, which happens, it's an engineered thing, puts them in a weakened state where their willpower and their self-awareness and the ability to stand their ground and within their own being is a shaky, shoddy thing at best. This is what happens. This is how they're going at us now, to trim the edges. They know they're not going to get everyone. They know they're not going to get the hardcore, but they can trim away the edges. And I think it's important for us to tether ourselves, we who reside in the center of the castle, to tether ourselves to those who are on the edges, to throw a lifeline to them. My wife thought she had done that several weeks ago when she was talking to the wife in this couple, to describe to her. This woman had no idea what the diagnostic tool that they've been using this whole time, with a 3-letter diagnostic tool whose inventor, I believe, was, in my opinion, was offed in 2019, because he's presented a problem for one of the main purveyors of this narrative for a long time now, a very long time, through several epidemics, pandemics too. And so this woman did not even know the story behind this. So my wife kept her appraised of this and showed her that this thing is essentially not to be used for diagnosis, and it actually has been hijacked to push this narrative forward. So even with that information, these people sallied forth into the institutions that wished to harm them, and still wasn't armed like she should have been. So, sorry, I'm drinking my rehydrator here. So, lifelines from the center of the castle to the edges. It's important. Very important. You are your brother's keeper. I have failed. Everyone's going to fail. Try a little harder. I'm pledging to do that. So, okay. I'll talk to you soon.